Welcome to RetroQuest, my retro video gaming podcast where I force my son to play old video games and then don't make a intro and then we just go. Sako, it's your turn.
What's up? Normally you introduce me. Okay. Hi, I'm Sako, Teenage Prodigy. Today we are here to do RetroQuest. We haven't done this in like a month, but that's okay because we played a really amazing game this time. Would you like to tell them what game we played?
Yes, we played Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars with Super Nintendo Entertainment System, but it's okay that we only did it a month ago because we usually do it about a month apart anyway.
Yeah, but first, housekeeping. What have you been up to?
I've been keeping house. Keeping house.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, working a lot. Huh? What have you been up to, Sako?
I've been keeping house. I've been keeping house, working a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, just working, doing things, doing, joystick cowboy things,
Yeah, I got you.
I'm just fucking up. I don't know. I've been working, doing, the same story. I work a lot. I don't do a lot of other things. Yeah. What about you? Is it school ending soon?
Yo,
finals?
Today's finals for everyone but me because I'm just that cool.
Yeah, you're that cool. So what that means is you'll have some more free time for us to ignore the podcast.
I know, right?
All right. So you've been doing nothing this week. Come on, what have you been up to? I know you've been playing some video games.
I did my bi-monthly rediscovering how much I love VR.
Your bi-monthly VR rediscovery, huh?
Yep.
What led you down this road?
Okay, so I've really, really been wanting to get back into like working out, but I don't want to leave the house. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna
Beat Saber or what?
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna launch up some Beat Saber. But first
okay.
I played some boxing game. I forget the name of it. It's like the Mike Tyson one though that they have on the VR.
Wait,
not Mike Tyson. Creed. That's what it's called. Creed.
Oh, okay.
I was playing the Creed, and then
Mike Tyson's Punch Out in VR. What?
That would be fire. Actually,
that'd be
somebody needs
cool.
Somebody needs to make that. Maybe I'm gonna make that. But I played that for a little bit, but I've already beaten the story, so I don't really have a reason to play that game anymore. So then I was like, I'm just gonna play Beat Saber, and then I started playing Beat Saber a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, though, just the normal Call of Duty and then whatever game we've been playing.
Whatever game we've been playing an awesome fucking game.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Do we have
Super
any
Mario
more
RPG and the Legend of the Seven Stars
of the house to keep?
I don't think so.
No. So let's do the thing where you tell me your first impression.
Yeah. So, as always, I load up the game. And
wait, let's talk about the game. So, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars is a 1996 role-playing video game developed by Square and published by Nintendo for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was the final Mario game for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System and was directed by Chiro Fujioka and Yoshiniko Meikawa, produced by Shigeru Miyamoto, of course, and scored by Yoko Shimomura. Super Mario RPG story focuses on Mario and his friends as they seek to defeat the Smithy Gang, who have crashed into their world, shattering the seven star pieces of the Star Road. It is the first RPG in the Mario franchise, drawing from major elements of Square's RPG franchise, such as Final Fantasy. The main form of fighting enemies is turn-based with a party of up to 3 characters. It is also the first game in the Mario franchise to have gameplay within an isometric 3D environment, allowing for a new variety of exploration and platforming elements reminiscent of the Super Mario series. The game features many new characters such as fucking Mallow and Gino, my boy.
Man, why do you say that like you hate Mallow?
Because I don't like Mallow.
So sad.
I don't like. Do you like? We're gonna get into it. All right. So now, first impressions.
So yeah, I load up the game and it is just a banger as soon as I start playing. You watch this little cutscene. Peach is kidnapped. Oh no, it's average Mario, right? And for some reason, I was expecting it. Like before I played it because I didn't read like anything or anything. I wanted to like go into this completely blind, and I was expecting it to be like literally Mario Bros, like the original Super Mario Bros, but like an RPG. And was I pleasantly surprised that it wasn't. The first thing you do is literally fight Bowser. Like you are thrown into the game fighting Bowser on top of chandeliers. And
yeah, that is awesome.
It is
fight too.
Oh yeah, and it teaches you everything you need to know about like how the fighting is going to work in the game, right? You use your jump attack, which is like Mario's special attack, and then you use like your normal attacks, right?
It teaches you the timing too.
Yeah, it teaches you how to get
a big
criticals.
Role in this game.
Oh yeah, and then you win the fight, and then a sword falls down on Bowser's castle, commencing the actual game, not just a tutorial.
Right.
It's and then you get thrown all the way back home where a toad is just waiting for you.
Well, I mean, I think that's like it's like your personal Toad Butler that just kind of waits on you. It's like
probably
the first time you saved the Mushroom Kingdom, you got issued a toad.
Probably. That sounds right. That sounds like something Toadstool would do.
Yeah.
But that's my first impression.
Okay, so like my first impressions of the game is this game came out when I was in the height of my Square like Final Fantasy fervor as you know, a young man, young teen. And so like I was reading about this game in the books before it came out in the magazines. And so like I was about as hype as you could get for this game when it came out. So it came out, rented it, played the fuck out of it, and this was always a fallback game that I would play and I would rent. Like, oh fuck, I don't know what to rent this weekend or whatever. Never actually owned this game until much later in life. But I would always just rent it for the weekend, beat it. You know, it's fucking such an awesome game. Anyway, so yeah, we'll get more into it. Those are my first impressions. It sounds like my first impressions a lot of times are always like, yeah, I rented this game and it was fucking awesome, and so like I like it.
Yeah, and then my first impressions are always just the start of the game.
Yes, my first impressions. Well, I guess I could give my first impressions like when I first played this game, and but that's getting more into like just the game in general, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get into it. So like I remember the first time I did play this game, just how awesome it captured like the Mario aesthetic and kind of the way it plays, but put it into that turn-based like battle system, you know?
Yeah.
Like that is awesome. Like I'm really amazed, like even now how they captured that, how they were able to actually make it feel like a Mario game while you were playing an RPG.
Oh yeah.
You know, what did you think about, you know, the game in general? Not in general, but I guess, yeah, in general. What do you think about the game in general?
So maybe this is a little bit of like I guess rose-tinted glass isn't the right word because it's not nostalgia, but maybe this is a little bit of just because I like Mario a lot, so I'm like giving it more credit than I would give any other RPG. But I liked the mechanics of this game, and I liked the grindiness of this game because it didn't feel like I had to. It felt like I was having fun doing it, right? Because like you find these spots where you can just fight the same boss over and over and over, right? And it'll just keep respawning, or not boss, but just like enemy. And you could just get a bunch of XP. And like, especially when it comes to earlier RPGs like this, it feels like there's more exponential reward, at least from the ones we've played. It feels like I'm getting more reward out of grinding in this game than I am other games, right? Because I'm getting to actively
I think that's possibly because this game was kind of made, I don't think, with a thought of grinding. So you really don't need to grind in this game. So when you are grinding, you're basically just becoming way OP.
Yeah. I got to max level by the time I beat the game.
Oh, yeah.
But I only got to max level. I only got to max level, though, in like the last world of the game. I didn't get there very early. But I spent the first like 3 hours of my game grinding because I thought it was going to be harder than it was, and then I smooth sailed through like the first 3/4 of the game, and then it finally got hard again, and then I had to grind again.
That's funny.
But it was okay. I enjoyed it, and I love the combat system. I feel like I've seen this combat system somewhere before.
You've seen iterations of it from them taking it from this, but this was like the first, I think, combat system. Have you ever played the Paper Mario games?
I have not, but I've thought about it, but I never got to it.
those are basically the spiritual successors of Mario RPG. Like they never made any more like Mario RPG games. Like after this, the next one that's kind of like this they made was Paper Mario, which is an RPG, and it has a battle system much like this, but it isn't isometric. It's like 2D. Like
I've seen the way it looks. Yeah.
And then you got Thousand Year Door for the GameCube, which is fucking a really good game too. But it's not exactly this game, you know. It's got that paper aesthetic and all that shit.
I've got to imagine this game must have came out at around the same time the isometric 3D Sonic came out too, because it seems like a lot of like the 16-bit consoles were like really trying to push like what they could do with it before they moved on to the next like big console. The next big home console. It seemed like they were really trying to push what they could do around this time. So this had to have been roughly the same. This had to have been roughly the same time that whatever it's called, the 3D Sonic game came out for the Genesis, which
but
is so much
kind of did it in a different way. Like the 3D Sonic game, the way they did it that way is the 3D Blast. Kind of fucking that game's alright. People give it a lot of flack. I don't hate it. It's kind of
I don't hate it, but I just don't like it.
I don't hate it. I just don't think it's fun. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I played it a lot trying to like it when I was younger because I just was like, this has to be fun. Like this is like 3D Sonic. Like I'm just not I'm not getting it, you know. But it's just the thing is I don't hate it. It's just not fun. And
once we get more into like Sonic series too, I have a lot to say about the Sonic series. So I'll save a lot of because.
Plus, like moving Sonic in a 3D environment that's those tight of areas is not fun because you don't feel like Sonic ever. Because when you do speed up in that game and get some speed going, you're going like a tiny.
Then you hit a wall.
Distance. Because the areas are small, and that's the main reason why that game doesn't work. Is just because the areas are too tight, and Sonic kind of needs big environments because he goes fast. I mean, what's the point of being fast and being able to run long distances when you're just
But I mean, to be fair, if you play the original Sonic games, they're much more about control than speed. Because if you get going too fast, you're generally punished for just going super fast.
But that's
you can't even do that. And
that's kind of the crux of the game. And my thought of Sonic isn't so much that speed is his advantage, speed is his disadvantage. Like he can't help himself from going fast. So you end up going fast, you know, without wanting to, and you have to slow down or you'll get hurt. And that's kind of the way I always approach Sonic games was more so of the speed is my enemy, not so much my power.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously someday we'll get to like more Sonic stuff. But, okay. I just wanted to point out this was around the same time that must have happened.
But the way, like I was saying, is this game did the graphics more like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, they're
country like pre-rendered. I think graphics that were used instead of like I think Sonic used like very very basic 3D modeling. I could be 100% wrong. And I think you're right from what I've heard.
I
remember it looking like garbage, so I remember that's gotta be the case. Anyway, I like the way it was also this game captured not just the feel of like fighting an enemy, I guess, in the battles, but you also get that kind of like movement in the environments. Like there's hidden blocks, there's little puzzles you have to like get through by using platforming and shit like that, and swimming sometimes. And although like personally too,
I do like it, but I feel like the platforming is a little jank. And I'm sure we can talk about that too at length at some point, but it just like it's really hard to tell sometimes where certain platforms are, so it's really hard to like try to jump and land on it.
Yeah, right? But I mean, that just kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that it's such an early attempt at like 3D movement and platforming.
Yeah, I mean, and so like at no the time it was like,
wow, look at how they did this. Like you can actually jump around it because I'm pretty sure this came out before I played Sonic. I don't know if it came out before Sonic 3D Blast came out, but I'm pretty sure I played this before Sonic 3D Blast came out, and that might have been one of the reasons why Sonic 3D Blast kind of fell off for me, because like even this game, not even being a platforming game, like the platforming in 3D, I mean it was kind of jank and kind of like not perfect, but at the time that was fucking smooth. You know what I mean? You gotta imagine at this time the Super Nintendo was as far as games have been taken. So the platforming here wasn't, you don't have, 3D 30 odd years of platforming, games that you've had to improve on. It's just like, this is like from Super Mario World and then Super Mario 2 Yoshi's Island kind of platforming that Nintendo was doing. And then they did this, Yeah. So putting that kind of platforming in this very, very basic isometric 3D, I thought it was cool. And
it definitely is.
It was like almost not revolutionary. I wouldn't go that far, but it was very impressive as a kid. And then you play Sonic 3D Blast, which wasn't even, it was going to straight be just like a 3D isometric platformer, which fucking did not work out for it well.
Yeah. Not to say that later 3D Sonics were much better, unfortunately.
I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan of 3D Sonic games.
I am too, but like earlier ones. The earlier ones though were just pretty janky. All of them. And as I said, we'll talk about it more.
Janky ones. Janky ones. Like I played Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. That shit was janky, but it was fucking fun.
And I'm sure we'll get to a point to where we're playing Dreamcast games in the future, so I'm not gonna jump the gun too much and start talking about it now. But I've watched and played a lot of Sonic games, older, newer. The only Sonic game I think I don't know anything about is the newest one. Not the Generations in Shadow, but the
Frontiers.
Really? Oh, yeah, Frontiers. That's the only one I haven't played or watched anything on. Like of the entire series. I played that game
for like 20 minutes one day and got super interested.
Yeah,
I just got bored. I get bored sometimes playing newer games though really easily.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about Sonic too, because I mean we haven't even played a Sonic game on here yet, so I don't really want to push it. But I do want to. I just wanted to point out that Sonic had a much rougher transition to 3D than
because Nintendo did. Just does it better. Basically, with almost everything that they try to do. But it just looks super good when I fired up first time, and it's super cool when you fire it up, and then like you said, your first thing you do is you go into Bowser's castle, and you're fighting through Bowser's castle, and you're fighting those little turtle guys, and the first time you see them, you're like, holy shit, those are Koopa Troopas. Those are what Koopa Troopas are supposed to look like, like actual little Troopas. Like, and then you fight those guys, and then you're on the chandelier, which I think is super cool because you're not even really fighting Bowser. I mean, you're fighting Bowser, but the point isn't even to beat Bowser, is to fucking hit those chain chomps. Chandelier, yeah, and then you killed the chain chomps. And I remember the first time, like I actually have the memory of the first time when I had that fight. I lost it a bunch of times because I just kept fighting Bowser and kept losing. And then when I realized I had like the fourth or fifth attempt, I realized I had to hit the chains, and it blew my fucking mind. Like it's me at like 10 years old attacking chain chomps, literally blows my fucking mind. Like I have the memory of like I was sitting down playing the game like in front of the TV, and like I stood up like what? I attacked the environment. I didn't think of it. I probably said I have to attack stuff or something as a 10-year-old, but that was the thought of like, oh my god, I attacked the environment. That's amazing. So yeah, that was super cool. And then you actually beat Bowser, like he falls, and then a sword comes through, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a fucking RPG. This is a Square game. And a sword falls through. You get pushed back all the way to your house. And that's another thing that was super cool when you get to your house is like it felt like that's Mario's house in the Mushroom Kingdom. You know what I mean? Like at that point in time, there wasn't a whole lot of seeing Mario stuff. Like you had merch, but that was you. Even as a kid, you knew that when you saw stuff like on merch and this is a Mario, that's just random shit. You know, that isn't, officially that's a Mario thing. It's an official Mario thing. I don't know how to explain it. You know the difference between trash merch and like actual genuine, this is canon type merch, like I remember getting a whole bunch of coloring books and shit as a kid, Mario Brothers things. And in the coloring books, I remember seeing all kinds of crazy shit that that was like not in the game and I'm like, this is weird. This is fucking, yeah. Anyway. I remember seeing Mario's house. He's got his hats hanging there. You can bounce on his bed. You just jump around on his fucking bed. And he's got that mushroom lamp, and you can click the little lamp, right? And then there's even like a hidden block in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like
there is?
Yeah.
Oh man,
there's a hidden block outside too.
That's crazy. I wish I would have known.
And I really like the way they did the save. Like there's a save spot right outside Mario's house just to teach you, okay, these are save spots. You know, and you get that save spot, and that's super fucking cool.
100%, yeah.
What did you think of Mario's house? Did you think that was a cool thing that they like had there, where you start off at Mario's house? Very RPG shit.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked a lot of the things the game did. Honestly, I was not expecting to like this nearly as much as I did. And then you go through what's the next thing? You go to Mushroom Way, and you got to fight through. And that's when you first fight the Goombas, right? And the Goombas, you start learning enemy weaknesses are as they should be in the game. Like Goombas, if you punch them or hit them, they take a few hits, but if you jump on them once, they're dead. Yeah,
like boom, instant kill, fucking Goombas. You know what I mean? And that's when you at the end of that you get those floating Koopa Troopas in that level too. You encounter those for the first time, where you learn that if you jump on a floating Koopa Troopa, it turns it into a regular Koopa Troopa. Yeah, just like the game. I don't know. I'm too excited about the correlations here. I'm not even letting you talk. Now you get to tell me how cool those things are.
So I like it a lot. You go and you obviously it's a little model. I've only played through the game once, but I do remember I've played it. This is probably the most time I put into any of the games we played, so I remember the most of this game than any other game. But you go in, you fight all of these things, and then you go to the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And
wait, hold on. Before you get to the Mushroom Kingdom, I want to talk about that first area when you fight the Hammer Brother for the first time.
Oh my god, yes.
Dude, that is so cool, right? And then you kill him and you get your first weapon, which is a fucking hammer that is like his iconic hammer from Donkey Kong. Yeah. And like you never think about the fact that like Mario's first weapon ever in a game is a hammer. And like honestly, like the hardest enemies in the first Mario game are the Hammer Brothers or Bowser with the Hammer Brother weapon. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I didn't want to gloss past his first weapon being like his first weapon.
Yeah, I definitely like when you say it, obviously I can I didn't think about that though, even when I was playing it.
Like there's like I played this game a lot. I know the correlations in this game to things are so fucking awesome. Just the way they captured, like not even knowing if they did that on purpose, but I'm pretty sure Miyamoto did. Like oh, let's make his first weapon. What was his first weapon? You know, he had a hammer. All right, before he ever jumped on people, his first weapon was a hammer. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Anyway, then you get to the Mushroom Kingdom. Go ahead.
Then you get to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you get it. This is the first look in the Mario series, as far as I'm aware, that you really get to look at the Mushroom Kingdom for more than 30 seconds, if even.
Yeah, right? I think and you get to go in. You get to see the palaces in Mario 3, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. But you get to go in here, and you get to talk to all of these toads that are just you know, they're living their own lives. You know, there's two want to get married, and and you meet Mallow because he gets his coin stolen.
Boo! Sorry, that was
me. He gets his coin stolen, so then he decides to help you out on your journey. And then you go into the actual palace, and everyone's freaking out because they haven't seen Princess Toadstool in a while. She went out to go look at flowers, and now she's missing again. So then obviously Mario, he reenacts the whole thing that happened in the funniest way possible.
I love the way he reenacts it. He's turning into them. He's that shit is fucking cool.
I know. And he's reenacting it, and he's jumping around, and then they're all oh yeah, we understand completely.
Right. He's good at pantomiming because he doesn't talk. He just pantomimes, and apparently has polymorphic abilities.
Yeah, he's so good at pantomiming. He can just turn straight into it, you know. But
he just casts polymorphings that are done.
Yeah, That should have been one
and
of
then
his
you
powers.
have to go. I hate after you you're on your way and the bandits way, because the next area is when you have to fucking get that like purple
dino
like
thing. You have to chase him everywhere. Yeah.
I
think it's supposed to be one of the dinos from Super Mario World.
Oh my god! I just fucking realized that.
Yeah,
that is exactly what that is. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. That is exactly what that is. That is one of those fucking dinosaurs from Super Mario World. And then you get that guy. I hate that guy. And that's when you get to fight those fucking Spinies, and you learn that if you jump on Spinies, it hurts you.
Yes. Which is very accurate to the games too.
Yeah. The only thing that throws me off is in the next level after that, you get that kind of platforming puzzle thing where you have to go across that thing that moves. That thing sucks. But then you fight like these wolves, right? That as far as I can tell, those wolves are not in any other Mario games.
I think that's supposed to be our first look at like Smithy's like original stuff, like things like that he brought to the world. Those are like his enemies that those like canine enemies or whatever. That makes sense. Yeah. Because I think any enemy. Go ahead. I think any enemy that you discover that isn't like already non-canon. Established, that's already not established in the Mushroom Kingdom or like its surrounding provinces is probably from Smithy's gang. Okay, that makes sense. That clears up a few things. And this is also the first area where you get to get the star. Yeah, this is the first star. How cool that is. Yep. You just got to run through and kill people. I love that because you can just level up super quickly when you get a star. Oh, yeah. And then you beat that fucking dude, and then you have to go back to the Mushroom Kingdom, right? And you what do you bring back to? What are you getting from that croc dude? He steals something, right? He steals Frog Fuchsia's money from Mallow. Oh, Mallow's coin. To go to the store. Yeah, he stole Mallow's coin, and that's where you go get it back from him, and then you go do the quest to get Princess Peach back. Yep. Which is quite a long quest. And it's not even basically the whole game. What the game is. It's like the first 5/6 of the game. And then you get to go to, what is it, Castle Shymore? Gosh, I wish I remembered the names of all the places. Dude, Castle Shymore, where you fight all the Shy Guys, which are my favorite enemies in the entire Mario series are the Shy Guys. I fucking love Shy Guys. I'm going to get a tattoo. That's not until way later. No, you fight the Shy Guys at the Shymore Castle. Yeah, but that's not No, not Shymore Castle. I'm thinking of something different. Shymores are just the names of the fucking things that go in there. Yeah, but the Shymores are in the castle. You don't fight the Shy Guys until you go and rescue Princess Peach, and that's pretty far in the game. Because after this, then you go on your mission to go find Frog Fuchsias with Mallow. I'm totally discombobulating. I'm just thinking about the Mushroom Kingdom in general and thinking about the Shy Guys. Yeah. Also, I find it really funny that instantly the Shy Guys started working with Smithy. As soon as he got down. They're like, the Shy Guys don't fuck around. They're whoever's in charge, we're going to fucking follow. We're on the winning team. Yeah. Whoever the winning team is, we're the winning team. They were so quick to jump off of Bowser's bandwagon. It's so funny. Yeah, because next is when you go into the sewer level and you get to fight those little mice in the bloopers. Yep. Right? I think so, yeah. And then you fight those weird fucking monsters that remind me of Jack Skellington, right? Oh, yeah. I don't know what those are, but I like the Kiro sewers because there's a few, I think there's a few hidden treasures in Kiro sewers. Yeah. It seems very platformy, the way you have that one area where you're jumping up the side and then you got to jump up the side more. Yeah. If that makes sense to anybody besides me. And then you get, I think they're, the ghosts are in this level too for the first time. Yep. And you unfortunately don't yet learn that their weakness is water, though, because you wouldn't have any water things to attack them with. Right. Unless you've leveled up Mallow enough at this point. If you grinded enough after you got Mallow and got him he has one attack. I don't remember which one it is, but that can do water damage.
It's like a rain attack or something, right?
Yeah. If you grind enough, I guess early enough in the game, you would have got that at this point, and you could have learned that. But realistically, you wouldn't know yet that the ghost's weakness is water.
Right, and then you fight that weirdo at the end of this level, and then you get to go to the fucking cool little what is it? Like I forget what game it reminds me of. There was a game just like this on the arcades way back in the day, where you go down the river, right? Tubin. It kind of reminds me of Tubin. You ever played Tubin?
No, unfortunately, but I do know the section you're talking about.
Where you go down the river and you got to get the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that part. And then you got to cross the river on those barrels and grab more coins.
Yeah, I like all of those like little like mini game things in this game. They're all really fun.
Oh yeah, all the mini games in this game are fucking just fun. They're just what it is. Even the Yoshi fucking racing game I find to be slightly fun.
Yeah.
And then you get to Tadpole Pond, and you get to meet Malo's was it grandpa or dad?
Well, his adoptive dad.
But he thinks it's his. Does he think it's his real dad? Doesn't he think it's his real dad?
He thinks it's his real grandpa.
Or his real grandpa, yeah, because he thinks he's a fucking frog.
Yeah, he thinks he's a tadpole. He's like
I remember playing this game as a kid, and that just confusing the shit out of me. Like I was just like, I didn't know what I was like. Are there frogs that look like that? Like I just thought I didn't know. I was like, it's like more mind blowing stuff. I'm just like, okay, so apparently there are tadpoles that look like clouds. Weird.
Oh man.
And like it could be like I thought that this game gaslighted the fuck out of me when I was the first time I ever played it.
That's so funny.
I did not get it. And the thing is, I played it for a long time renting it, not actually getting to the part where you find out like what really happened to Malo. So the first like 4 or 5 times I rented it and didn't get that far, I was just like, man, this weird fucking frog thing. I hate this guy. Fucking hate this weird looking frog, man. Never seen a frog like this. But yeah, then you meet Frog. Was it Frog Fuchsius?
Yeah, Frog Fuchsius.
The little what is it, like a rhythm game?
Yeah, with the tadpoles. And that's also when you discover the frog coins.
Yeah, then you can start collecting frog coins and stuff. And he gives Malo a weapon, I believe. Does he not give him a weapon?
I think he does, but I don't remember what the weapon is.
I don't even remember. It
might be the Womp Glove. Is it the Womp Glove?
Oh yeah, he has gloves. Those are his weapons. I forgot what weapons he even uses.
Yeah,
that's how much I don't like Malo.
Mario has the most diverse like weapons. He can use more weapons than anybody else, but everybody else has like a special weapon type. Everybody else has like a special weapon type that they use. Like Bowser only uses like throwable things with like chains on them. Princess Peach uses only fans. Mallow only uses gloves. Gino only uses guns. And that's all the characters.
Yeah, Mario's got... Well, because it's Mario. It's, you know...
Yeah, Mario can use hammers. He can use gloves. He can use boots. He can also use shells.
Yeah, that's super fucking cool. I like the shells.
His final weapon that you'll use in the game is generally a shell too. It's one of his strongest weapons.
The blue shell?
There's a blue shell? I didn't get a blue shell. I had a big red one with wings.
The blue one with wings, unless I'm mistaken. Or no, it's like a red one with spikes with wings.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one you'll end the game with.
Yeah. So and then you leave Frog Fuchsius and you go for a while, but you go to Rose Town, which is kind of like awesome because you meet like, you know, Gino. You know what I'm saying?
Man, a D1 Gino lover right here.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like the very first, like, it's weird because like the very first time I ever saw fucking Malo, like I hated Malo from the jump. Like from the very first time I met Malo and had to realize he was like a character on my team and I had to use him. And I'm not even just saying that just to say it. Like I hated Malo. And
he's not that bad though.
I just hated him. I don't even know what to say. He just went me the wrong way. But the same exact thing is true for Gino. Like literally the moment I saw Gino, the little puppet dude with the fucking gun arms, I was like, that is the coolest fucking Mario character ever. Always hoping and wishing he'd be in more Mario games and he's never been in one since. Like, he should have been a Smash Brothers character at the very least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or have a Mario Kart. I'm saying,
Gino, Mario Kart
bro.
for sure.
Bro, he's Gino. He has gun arms and he's a fucking little puppet guy. But yeah, so you go to Rosetown, you get Gino. Rosetown, isn't that that's a town where you go to the inn and Link is in the fucking inn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking cool shit too, dude. See that's another mind blower. As a kid, a crossover like that, seeing Link in a Mario game, which I guess not, it wasn't too crazy because there was there was a lot of Mario crossovers in the Legend of Zelda game for the Game Boy, but seeing it in an actual mainline Mario game like Super Mario RPG, and then there's literally Link there, which of course back in the day led to millions of rumors about how you unlock Link.
Oh yeah, dude. When I looked it up, I was like, when I was looking up like stuff, they were like, and I scrolled back to see what was like older talk about this game. All of it was about like, oh, how to unlock Link, how to unlock Luigi, how to unlock like all of these characters that are very obviously not in the game. And it's like, how to unlock Toadstool as a playable partner. And it's like, what?
Right.
So funny, dude.
Yeah, you do that whole thing and you get Gino and you go to the forest maze. I don't really like the forest maze, mostly because I don't like those little caterpillar guys. I mean, the forest maze looked cool, even like on the Super Nintendo. Like the forest maze, like the way the lighting was, looked fucking cool.
I liked the caterpillars because I used them to grind. Because they'll infinitely spawn coming out of those pipes, so you can just
that is actually a good grind spot, honestly.
So that's where I kind of, and the thing is, for me, grinding was just putting the game in fast forward and spamming X, which is actually Y according to the game or something. I don't know, because you're looking at it as
after you went to that area. Did you ever go to the pipe vault and go to the Yoshi races?
I did not.
Oh, you missed the Mushroom Derby?
I did. I saw it though when I was looking at the credits though, and I was so confused that I had to look up what it was, and then I found out what it was from that.
The pipe maze is a cool little level too. It's like just like a little secret. It's kind of like the representation in this game, how like a little warp zone area would be, only with a little bit of enemies in it. But you get to fight those mole enemies there, and those.
I missed out on mole enemies. That's so sad.
The mole enemies are down there, and then those plants, like the piranha plants, are down there.
Dang, that's actually kind of sad.
And then you go to Yoshi Island, dude, and then you fucking...
I have a couple words to say about the piranha plants in this game.
Wait, you fought the moles. You fought moles. You had to have fought moles. Because literally the area after this, I believe, is the Moleville, where you have to help those moles through. That is a very tedious level, too. Because there's a lot of fucking, like, puzzly areas to it. But you gotta fight the wizards.
Yeah. For some reason, when you said moles, I was thinking of the moles from Super Mario Brothers 3. Like that throw the wrenches.
That throw the wrenches. Okay, I got you.
That's when you said moles, that's what I started thinking about. So I was like, oh man, I missed out on those.
Yeah, because you go to the mines and then you have to fucking deal with that crocodile dude again.
Yep.
Fuck, I hate that crocodile guy.
I know, and he keeps coming back.
He just keeps coming back. And then you get that very rudimentary... The only mini game that I don't find fun is the... and I never find it fun in any games. I don't know why they always keep putting them in fucking games. The minecart.
Dude, I love minecart mini games.
I hate minecart mini games so much.
They used to have them. I used to play Club Penguin on my DS, and they had like the exact same one in one of them.
Oh my gosh!
And it's so, dude, I love it so much. I don't know. That might just be a me thing.
But I like how after that, and then you go to that one little town where it's got all the what are they called? They're not Shy Guys. They're the guys that have. I
like how we started talking about Gino, but we never even discussed why Gino's even here in the first place. The collapse of Star Road, the entire point of the game.
Well, yeah, because that's what Smithy did. He fucked up Star Road. And so Gino's here trying to fucking fix Star Road. Well, we're trying to fix Star Road because by this time we've already gotten like 3 star pieces.
Yeah. Right. By the time we get Gino, we have one. And he's like, wait, you have a star piece. Oh my gosh, we're trying to save Star Road. And then that's what the whole game becomes about out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, because you realize that's how you get a wish, isn't that where you get a wish or something? So we gotta put those back up there so people can get their wishes back and someone can wish Smithy away or some. I don't. Well, that part of the story, I'm not super big on the story because
the Star Road is like the Road of Wishes, which is Mario canon, and it was Mario canon before this game.
Yeah,
but I just don't like the way they implemented Star Road into the game, but I see what they were going for.
See, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't really pay much attention to the entirety of the story in this game.
That's fair. Okay, that makes sense.
I kind of just play the game, if that makes sense. Like the story in my head is kind of dumb. Like, and it just, I'm like, the story could be whatever. The story is like the vegetables.
Yeah.
The gameplay is the fucking steak, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
So like, I honestly, as much as I've played this game, the details of the story kind of aren't all there. Like,
and I guess it's just because I know a lot about the Mario story because I'm a big nerd, right? Because like the whole reason Mario,
too, but I mean of this specific story.
Yeah, I guess I paid a lot of attention to the story when I was playing it. Like
I honestly forgot the entire reason why Gino was here until you said it. I just was like, oh, this is where we get Gino.
Yeah,
and Gino wants to help us, and that's all that matters. And then you go fight the mine carts and do all that thing, get more star pieces, and then you get to go to Booster Pass, which that's a cool level because I just like the way that level is with those little pits that you fall in with those spike enemies. And then you get to go to Booster Castle. Yep. Booster Tower, you know, and then which is the funnest area of the game, dude. Like Booster Tower, I think is super fun. Booster, like I don't know why I don't know why he never came back. Like for the longest time, I was remember the first couple times I played this game and got to Booster, so confused about who Booster was, and like, he seemed important. And as a kid, I thought I was missing something. I was like, what Mario game did I not play that this character's from? Like, you know, he seems like he already had canon, he already had backstory, like there was already like a whole thing about him. So I was just very like, Booster, is that supposed to be Bowser's like brother maybe? Like
that's what I was thinking too. I was like,
and then you realize that because I mean he's kind of doing the Bowser thing, you know, but seeming much more successful with it.
Yeah,
you know, and I like that. Do you get that little special area in his tower where you go in there and you turn into like 8-bit Mario?
Oh yeah, and it plays the 8-bit. It plays the original Mario soundtrack too.
That shit's fucking fire.
Oh yeah, that made me smile when I played that.
Right, and then I just like the whole Booster level and aesthetic. And then you get fucking Bowser, who I'm sorry, that is fucking one of the best characters in this game.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Bowser is fucking beast in this game. Like after I get Bowser in this game, Bowser does not leave my fucking game. Does not leave my team. Usually it's Mario and Bowser, and the third person kind of switches between Peach and Gino with an emphasis on Peach because she can heal better.
To be fair, as soon as I got Peach, my party never changed once and I had no issues. Like I used Mario, Bowser, and Gino, and then as soon as I got Peach, it was Mario, Bowser, and Peach for the rest of the game.
Well, I usually keep it with Peach, but some bosses are weak to like projectile type attacks. So then I'll just throw Gino in there because then I can have like Bowser doing a projectile attack, Mario doing a projectile attack, and Gino doing a projectile attack.
That's fair. That makes sense. I guess I just like, especially when you get the lazy shell. Peach is basically like you don't want to get rid of Peach because she'll take no damage and she just can constantly heal your party. So that's what I did. Once I got I think I switched Peach out once, and then as soon as I got the lazy shell, she never left after that because like she basically becomes invincible if you give her the lazy shell. She doesn't do much damage, but she's more of a healer type anyways, so that's fine. Right. But her psych bomb does really good. Especially if you need to damage like all of the enemies and everybody's already in your party healed. You want to get her the Scrooge ring and the lazy shell.
Yeah, that kills it.
Because when she's only using half of her flower points that she needs to for an attack, like for her, like her base attack is kind of, you know, like no matter what it is, it's never very strong.
Yeah.
Right, but you can use Psych Bomb on any group of enemies, and it always does at least 50 damage, which might not seem like a lot, but it helps, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, it truly does.
That's why Peach is kind of... I left Peach in my party for basically the whole game after I got the lazy shell.
Yeah, like I said, I usually leave her in there for the most part, except for if I need 3 attackers, and then I throw her in there.
I got you, and I can definitely see it.
Because you get Peach pretty soon after that. Because after you go through Booster Tower with that crazy weirdo, you go to Marymore, and then you fight the fucking you go up that hill, which is fun.
Yeah,
and then you get to Marymore, and you get to fight a fucking cake.
Yeah,
dude, I love Marymore so much because I like that chef. The chef's like fucking just cool shit. And then you fight his cake, and his fucking cake is like fucking just like one of the fucking strongest bosses in my opinion in the game. At least up to that point.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking kicks your fucking ass and lets you know how to fight it right. Oh, and 100%. then you get Peach, and then it's basically like, okay, we know what our team's mostly gonna be like for the rest of the game.
Then the game psychs you out. Then the game makes you go back to Mushroom Kingdom and makes it seem like she's not gonna come with you.
Yeah, but I mean,
and it's like,
that's true.
I genuinely was like, oh, did I do something wrong?
The thing is, when you first time you played this game, like it doesn't give you any thoughts that Peach is ever going to join your game.
Yeah,
like there's nothing saying, hey, these are the people that are going to be in your game. Possibly if you looked at previews and magazines, you'll probably know, or stuff like that. But as a person going into this game, you would never expect, oh, Peach is going to be on my team. Like you wouldn't expect that because she has never been on your team in any game ever besides Mario 2 before.
Yeah, I was about to say Mario 2 though.
So like it's not expected. So when you go back to the castle and you're like returning her, you're like, okay, this is the part I return Princess Peach before I go continue my journey. And then she comes with, and you're like, all right, let's get it done.
But the thing that got me though is I was like, you know, because she fights with you up until you get back to the Mushroom Kingdom. So I was like, she's got to stay with me. So then when it was like Princess Peach is staying behind, I was like, dude, did I do something wrong? Was I supposed to like do something in specific to make her like stay with me? And then I was like leaving, and she came with, and I was like, that's so stupid. I was all worried for nothing.
Shit.
And then you finally leave Mushroom Kingdom for, honestly, you don't really need to go back after that because there's everything in there is super underleveled. Yeah, there's no more story stuff, and nothing you can buy there is really worth it.
Yeah, you're done with that area for the rest of the game, basically, because then you go to Star Road and then the Seaside Town, which I like Seaside Town because I like the little water enemies and then you get to go fight. You get to go fight Johnny, I think his name is. The shark?
He's a fun. Yeah, he's
Johnny
fun.
The shark is fucking
like
cool,
Johnny.
Dude.
And he comes back later too, and he like helps you out, and that's also, I like that too.
Yeah, and I like the sunken ship too, where you're fighting the dry bones and those fucking ghosts with knives. And then you get to fight the fucking Axum brothers. Or the Axum Rangers, which they're like ripoffs of the Power Rangers and like fucking. I thought that was the fucking coolest thing as a kid. I'm like, they put Power Rangers ripoffs in the fucking Mario RPG game. What the fuck, dude? So yeah, and then you do that whole fucking cool thing, like, which I think is super cool. Like the Axum Brothers fight too is a fucking difficult fight. Like,
wait, I think you jumped forward because that's after the volcano, isn't it?
No, the Axum, or is that the Axum Brothers I'm thinking of? Because you fight the Seaside Town. And then you go to the sunken ship.
Yeah, they're found in the volcano area.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's I'm skipping ahead.
You did skip.
You go to the sunken ship, and then you go back to the seaside town.
And then you actually, they make it seem like you're about to have to fight these like toads that are like capturing these other toads.
Like the toads that are like gray or something.
Yeah, and they're like torturing the king by tickling him, and it's like, okay, you want to get serious? And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna fight these guys. I'm not gonna let them take my stars. But then it never let me fight them. They just kept going and torturing this king. So I was like, okay,
isn't it? No, because when you go to Seaside Town, isn't it where they're all robots or something?
I don't remember what they are. I just know they're like pretending to be toads and they've kidnapped.
Yeah, they're fucking like robots created by Smithy. Like those toads, they're like robots, and so you have to fucking get rid of them. And
then they run over to like leave, and then Johnny comes and saves you and is like, "Hey, I gave him that star," and then they have to give you back the stars.
Yeah. And then you have to buy Spirit. What is it? Spiritovich. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's Seaside Town is generally like the town you'll come back to buy all of like your stuff that you need to buy. Like that's where you can buy your Scrooge ring, which is what you'll want to give Princess Peach because that halves the FP. I gave Mario. I had 2 rings for Mario that I would change out depending on who I was fighting. I had Coin Trick for most fights just to give me more coins. And then I had another one. I don't remember what the name of it was. Oh, Amulet. I had Amulet for Mario to boost his attacks and defenses. And then I had Wake Up Ring, or it was either Wake Up Ring or the one that makes it so you can't turn into mushrooms. One of those 2 for Bowser, so that no matter what, he could always bring Peach back if he had to. Because he's still a heavy hitter, so like if I have to, I can keep attacking with him, but he won't be put to sleep or anything. And so I kept him with that ring, and that was where you could buy all of those rings at. So
yeah, because then you go there, and then you go to Land's End, and you go to Monstro Town. Monstro Town is fucking awesome because you fight a Final Fantasy boss in a Mario game. Did you fight the Final Fantasy boss?
I mean, I probably did. I just wouldn't have known it was a Final Fantasy boss.
You would have known. No, you would have known. You didn't go. Oh man, you missed so much stuff. So there's like a little room in Monstro Town, right? You know Monstro Town, what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I know where you are.
All the monsters. So there's like a door in there, and you go in the door and you fight a fucking Final Fantasy boss, bro.
Is it the? Are you talking about the what's it called? The dude that's like. The ninja guy?
No. His name is Jinx. Or no, yeah, Jinx is the ninja, right?
Yeah, I fought him. I did all 3 of his battles.
No. That's different. That guy is just like a fighting guy, like a training guy, right?
Yeah.
Then there's hidden treasure. Or wait, I'm thinking of Land's End, right? Land's End is the one after the temple. And then you go to Land's End, and then you go to Bean Valley. Land's End's got the fucking Final Fantasy boss. I know it does. I can't remember the name of it is though. Okay, so you go to Land's End anyway. You go to Monstro Town. Not Land's End. I'm thinking Monstro Town, not Land's End. Go to Monstro Town, and then you get to go to the
Monstro Town isn't Land's End though.
Land's End goes to Monstro Town, right?
But it's on the Land's End. I think is the name of that like island.
Oh yeah, okay, gotcha. And then you go to the temple, and then you go to Monstro Town, and then you go to
the bean place,
yeah, the Beanstalk Valley.
Yep, and then you go into the sky. Which takes you to
fucking, I guess, Frogland, because that's where frogs are from.
You discover that Mallow is a prince.
Where he discovered that the clouds are actually big frogs in the sky.
Yeah, except for not at all.
Except for Mallow. The opposite.
Mallow is just adopted, and you would know that if you paid attention to the story.
Bean Valley is kind of an ugly level with all the reds in it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I don't like the bees either. I don't like the bees.
No, I hate them. I've never liked them.
And then you go to I was always weird about Nimbus Land because it's kind of cool. Like that level's kind of cool. And you see all the Mallow people, which are kind of weird because I hate Mallow. But that level always. You ever played Candyland?
Yeah, the board game,
like the board game Candyland.
Yeah.
Nimbus Land, like the level, like the environment, the way it looks, always reminded me of a Candyland like board game. Like just the way it looks.
I could see that. I could see that.
Pinks and the bubbles, like not bubbles, but the lots of rounds. I don't know. So you go there, and then that's kind of a cool level. I like going through that
the castle.
Whatchamacallit, castle.
I was so confused when I played it.
Why?
Because I just was so like, how did we get here?
Well, you fight those blackbirds, which are cool.
Yeah, but I basically, that was the point of the game where I had to start grinding again because bosses were getting too hard for me to beat. So I basically just cleared out the entire castle, which was really funny. But I cleared out the entire castle, and then you fight Birdo.
Yeah.
I know Birdo wasn't introduced in this game. Birdo was introduced in Mario 2, but But this is a weird iteration of Birdo. Because I don't think Birdo's not like the name of the thing. Birdo's like the name of the species. No, Birdo's the name of the character, because I think Birdo's we've seen other like in other Mario games, we've seen the same species as Birdo. They have different names.
Maybe you're right. Birdo's just the one it's a guy that thinks it's a girl, or it's a girl that thinks it's a
cross-dresser.
Well, I think it's a girl that thinks it's a guy.
No,
because it lays eggs but because it thinks it's a guy, it thinks it's poop, and that's why it throws it or something. I read that somewhere where that's why it throws its eggs, because it thinks it's poop.
Yeah, Birdo's the first ever Nintendo cross-dresser.
Yeah, it's like a woman bird that thinks it's a guy. I could have it wrong, but I think that's what I read, is that it's a girl, but when it lays the eggs, because it thinks it's a guy, it thinks that it just poops,
and it throws
its poop at you. I swear to God, I read
something like that. I know.
I'm not offending anybody or doing anything. I'm not trying to be offensive or nothing to nobody. That's just what I read.
To some degree, I know you're right about it. Like the
I know it's a cross dress of some sort. I know there's a cross dressing of sorts. But yeah, then you fight Birdo, and then you go to the volcano after you have that whole reunite scene, and then Malo realizes he's fucking retarded.
Yeah. And then you
go to the barrel, and then you fight the Axum brothers and a bunch of weird enemies. Barrel. It's called Barrel Volcano. That's the name of it.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Yeah, you go to Barrel Volcano, and that's when you fight all those rock enemies and the Axum brothers, who are the Axum Rangers, who are the fucking cool shit. I love the Axum Rangers. I thought that was the coolest thing, but they are a hard fight.
Really?
I thought they were hard, at least.
I mean, I didn't think they were easy, but they just seemed kind of like middle of the road. Because as long as you kept Peach healing like basically at least every turn, or like every other turn, then you wouldn't really ever get low enough for it to be an issue, because none of them did high attacks that did that much damage. I guess adding up, though, maybe and they're all doing like 50 damage at a time too.
That thought is also like the remainder thought of as I was a 10-year-old fighting them.
That's fair, yeah.
Because then you fight them, and then it's like right after them, boom, you're right into fucking Bowser's Keep.
Yep, and then you get no. You have to do a little bit more. You have to jump through a couple more hoops before you can go to Bowser's Keep. Because you have to go talk to the king, and then he sends you on a side quest, and then when you come back, he's like, okay, now you can take my cloud mobile and drive over.
Well, yeah, you go back to the king and you talk to that guy, yeah. But I don't like those people, so we don't talk about them.
And then you go to Bowser's castle, and if you have Bowser in your party, basically all of the fights are only half as hard, because they all run away from Bowser.
Yep, I love that.
Except for like a couple of them, so it makes your fights just so much easier and so much faster. And you're already
fighting those big old fat turtles in the castle.
Dude, they're so funny, and they're like they generally die in like 2 hits, but it's
like they're just like obese, out of shape, fucking Paracoopas that just fucking die fucking quick. Oh, Paracoopas are cool. Oh man! And then you go to that challenge with the doors, and they're like randomized.
Yeah, I did 2 parkour ones, and I did 2 quiz one or 2 puzzle ones.
This one I did like a battle course and then a quiz course.
Yeah, because I know you have to do at least 4.
Yeah.
So I did
a solitaire one or something. And then you get to bite that fucking cool ass wizard Koopa.
Yeah, he was a lot. I was expecting it to be a much harder fight than it was, but it was still a pretty fun fight.
I think it's a cool fight. And it was really fun. You see that goddamn crocodile again.
Yeah, but this time he's actually here to help you.
Yeah, but still, I see him and I hate him. I guess I don't hate him. He's just, I don't know. He's annoying to me because characters that constantly have their mouth open like that, like, annoy me.
I think it's very hit or miss. Like, they have to be really funny or it's really annoying. Because
it looks like it's a person wearing a suit almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it's just like their mouth constantly open, kind of just like, and even Booster, like him, like he has that constant big toothy grimace on his face.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like that's kind of annoying because it makes it seem fake because no one just keeps those expressions constantly. No one just has their mouth. I guess if you're a crocodile, maybe, but.
Yeah. Are you a crocodile? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe. And then you go to the final area to what weapon world?
Well, it's like Factory is the name of it.
I thought it was called Weapon World.
No, it's literally just called Factory.
Oh.
But you fight a couple more mini bosses and you go to Factory.
And then you have that fucking conveyor belt area.
Honestly, I grinded. So when I got there, I basically grinded out to level 30 before I went to beat Smitty. I grinded against the there was it's the boss that shoots the arrows that hit via buttons. I just kept grinding against that dude until I got to level 30. Is
the one that's got like a fucking like a Viking helmet on?
Yeah, and when he hits when he shoots the arrows, it also makes it so you can't do like certain things, like you can't like press a button.
Yeah.
I kept grinding against him so till I got to level 30, and then I went and fought Smitty.
Okay.
And the Smitty fight is really interesting.
I think that's the manager you're talking about. Because you fight like a clerk and then a manager, and then isn't there something after the manager? After you get clerk and a manager, and then there's
like clerk, manager, director, and then then Smitty.
Yeah.
And you go down, you meet Smitty in like his little room that he's in.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because like the entire game, you think that sword is Smitty.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, that sword is Smithy. Because it's like
we completely ignored the sword fight. No, that's till later. No, that's not. You fight the sword after you kill Smitty. No, you don't. What am I talking about? You fight the sword. You fight the sword to get to the factory.
Yeah, like the sword is like you fight the sword getting into. Like the sword is like the
it takes you to the portal,
guardian of the galaxy, or not galaxy but factory thing.
Yeah, and then you go to the factory from there. But you fight Smitty, and it's a really interesting fight because there's two stages of the fight. But in the first fight, he only has one form. In the other fight, he has like 5.
Yeah.
So, and in the first one, it's really easy, like in terms of like gameplay loop, right? Have Peach heal every single like turn, right? With her group hug.
Dude, he looks so cool when he transforms.
Oh yeah, he does.
Dude, he looks so fucking when he turns into like the tank head thing.
Yeah,
that thing looks so cool. It's like just like a tank.
Oh yeah, and then that's susceptible to like certain types of attacks, but it doesn't take like physical damage very well. And like they all have their own weaknesses that I had to look up to figure out what they were. But the funny thing is, I was like already apparently done with that fight by the time I looked it up, because I just kept fighting this dude and he wasn't dying. So like at some point I looked up on my phone, I was like, how do you defeat Smitty, Mario RPG? And it showed me like, oh, well, this version, like this form is susceptible to this damage. So then, I attacked him one more time, and then of course he died that attack. So I was like, okay, that's great. Whatever. But yeah, you have to deal a total of 8,000 damage to him. God. And I don't know why you can attack his body. I don't know if there's like any reason, because like if you kill, like even if you attack his body, it doesn't stop him from transforming. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay,
I think
So I was looking at that boss so there's a secret boss. It's a secret boss because it's got to be a Final Fantasy thing. So of course it's got to be a secret boss. So yeah, in Monstro Town, there's that gray door that you need to have a special key for. And when you go in the door, like it takes you into like this astral plane looking area, and you fight like literally looks like a Final Fantasy boss floating on like a cloud, looking all anime with like little crystals on the side of it that you have to fight. Like it's like if you looked at a picture of it, you'd be like, oh, that almost looks like they just got like the sprite from a Final Fantasy game and stuck it in this game.
That's so sad that I missed that actually.
And it's like, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So then you fight fucking Smithy and you beat the game, and it's fucking awesome. And then you start it up and start a new game.
I honestly, I was expecting the game like after the credits to allow you to go back and like do stuff,
like a new game plus type thing.
Not necessarily like a new game plus, but like to tie up loose ends and stuff, or like just go fight like enemies. You know, like a Fallout 4 type thing. Like when you beat the game, you know. You just
it's more like Fallout 3 when you beat the game and the game's
just over. Yeah, I love how you made the analogy before I could.
Yeah,
I love Fallout 3, but that's neither here nor there.
So we've been talking about this game for a while. Literally went through the whole fucking game.
Literally, we don't do that very often.
That just shows we should probably just say how much we look. We obviously like this game. Yeah. So let's rate this. Let's put a rating on this game. Let's say a 16 big game. So Sako, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, on a scale of 1 to 16, what would you give this scale? Or would you give this game?
A solid 15. No
I give this a game of fucking 15 easy. I would give it a 6. Actually,
I think you would give it a 16 if Mallow wasn't there.
I would. That's what I was about to say. That's if I didn't have to deal with Mallow, man. Mallow kills it, and that Crocodile. I'm not a big fan of that guy.
I think I would have given it a 16. I think the only thing that would have made it a 16 for me is if it went faster, like the gameplay, and that's just it's an older game, so like movement. But that's just always going to be my critique with these games is it takes so long to do something simple.
True.
And that's always just what kills like them for me. It's like this thing that like in a game nowadays, you know, I could have got through this whole part. This game is still loading this part, you know? And like, I know that's like an unfair criticism, but it's just from my privileges as a modern gamer, this is the way I see it.
I mean, it's not like there's any load times in this game.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, it's the the load times are fast, but it's not that there's none, because technically every single time you go transition between a level, it's quick loading the levels.
Well, no, that's not how cartridges work. I guess you're playing on an emulator, so it's technically loading it, but cartridges have zero loading because they're not accessing like RAM, because it's already there.
Yeah, it's all loaded all at once. So I know. I know if you're playing this on an SNES, then it's not loading it. But if you're playing this on an emulator,
even on an emulator, you shouldn't even be experiencing any loading.
Well, it's not like it's quick loading, because I mean, you know, I have a laptop that can handle.
It's just transitions,
but like it's just, and even then, I'm just talking about like how slow it is to like do certain like actions and stuff.
I got you. So
like the game actual pace, you know. But and there's a lot of stuff that we didn't get to talk about, unfortunately, like the bridge where you can just grind coins at, and like, but I mean, you know, this is a really big game.
This game fucking rocks, dude.
Dude, this game is really big. Like there's just so much going on in it.
So, I guess before we wrap this up, we should probably pick another game to play for our next monthly podcast episode. Well, we could probably do 2 weeks now since you don't even have school.
Yeah.
Let me look. I got a fucking list of games up here.
I like how you chose one of like the last 16-bit era games for like our third 16-bit era game to play.
Yes. I did in fact do that. I want to pick something wacky this time before we jump into something else. We're going to do like Chrono Trigger probably after you come back from church camp. Yeah. Because you'll have a lot of extra time and you can dig into Chrono Trigger, because that'll legit be like a game that'll take you like a couple 2-3 weeks of grinding to actually play or beat and get into. Actually, not Chrono Trigger is not that long of a game, honestly. It just has infinite replay value. So let's see. What should we fucking play? I'm looking at this list of games. we haven't played. Have we played any Game Boy games?
We have. We played the one with the dragon or Gargoyle's Quest.
Oh, no, we played Gargoyle's Quest. Dude, I know what we should play. We should play next. And it's a fun game. And it's kind of wacky, but it's an awesome game. We're going to play Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Game Boy.
All right.
Yeah. Link's Awakening, Game Boy. That sounds like fucking awesome. Let me write that down.
No Four Swords?
No, I'm not a big fan of like Four Swords. And that's not even, that's like Game Boy Advance. And
that's DS actually, I think. Four Swords is DS, I think. Maybe it's Game Boy Advance. I think it's... I guess it's weird to think that the DS could also be considered retro, though, at this point, with how old it is.
Yeah.
That makes me feel gross.
So you got anything you gotta say before we get out of here?
Be on the lookout on the Teenage Productions YouTube channel. More trailers will be coming out soon for the movie because we start filming soon. And other than that, I should start streaming soon again too because my break is almost over because I'm almost out of school. So I have a lot of things coming up. You know my link tree is always in the description of these episodes, so if you want to see what I'm doing, go ahead and skim through there. My Instagram is not very active. My Twitter's not very active. My TikTok's very active. And my YouTube's not very active. You just kind of have to catch me when I'm there.
And as for me, I make a podcast. And here I am.
Yeah, this is the only thing you do anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, I will not. Summer's starting, so I probably won't be doing anything else for sure. But as far as that's concerned, I'll be doing this podcast, and I like it, so we're gonna keep doing it, and that's about it. You guys have a good time. Goodbye.
Goodbye in another language.